From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening everyone. I'm Andy Simon alongside Roman Trema as we get set for North Dakota high school football action as the Shanley Deacons take on the Fargo North Spartans. Folks, we'd like to apologize for that short delay in the beginning of the stream. We are underway after a quick 3-and-out opening drive by the Shanley Deacons as North takes over on the 44-yard line. So a shotgun set for the Spartans. Danny Boutain to take the snap, and he will hand it off to Blaine Anderson. Anderson takes it to a little in front of, a little farther than the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 for the Fargo North Spartans. So Shanley on their opening drive, they had a couple struggles, a little miscues there and here and there. They had a fumble on one play, which was luckily recovered by Quincy Smith. Shotgun once again for Danny Boutain. He takes the snap, and he will toss it out to Blaine Anderson. Anderson will look to throw, and he will look for Wyatt Johnson, but that will fall incomplete. Tough defense there by Talon Hoffer.
Yeah, I'm liking this aggressiveness here for the Fargo North Spartans. That little toss play for a little read option here for the running back, just airing that out there just a little bit too far there for Wyatt Johnson. But other than that was a really good play there by Fargo North.
So that'll bring up 4th down and 8 for the Spartans. So we'll get set to punt here. Talon Hoffer back to receive for the Deacons. The kick is blocked by Dalton Visser, and he will pick it up, and he will take it all the way to the end zone for the scoop and score for the Shanley Deacons. Excellent play there by Dalton Visser. He saw that the snap was bobbled a little bit by the punter, so he made sure to get there as fast as possible, and he was just at the right place at the right time to pick up that ball and take it all the way back for the score.
Yeah, it's a little redemption here for the Shanley Deacons after that quick 3-and-out here on their first drive, just having their defense step up big and forcing another 3-and-out. And then Dalton Visser's coming with a huge punt block and able to run it back for a touchdown. That's really big here in this opening quarter.
Yeah, Shanley definitely thrives off early big plays like that, and we'll see if that can keep the momentum going for the Shanley Deacons on defense in the next drive. So Emmett Kenny here to tack on the extra point. Hold is down. It is up and through the uprights. Score now 7-0, Deacons lead. Yeah, as I said earlier, Shanley, they really like to come out and make a big play to start off the game, and that's exactly what they did there, especially after that rough opening drive where they had a 3-and-out, couldn't really connect on any plays, had a couple miscues, but that was big for Shanley's momentum going into for the rest of the game.
And it should be interesting to see how North rebounds here. So maybe they may place a little bit slower, not take that big shot that they had earlier. Maybe just get that ground game running, and then after that, see if they can get the passes going a little bit deeper. Right now, they just have to stick to just keeping this drive alive.
The defensive line, but will gain only about 2 yards.
And Aiden Devine, only a sophomore here, really young running back here for the Shanley Deacons offense.
Bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Deacons.
And folks at home, just to let you know, we are having some technical difficulties here, so if you are just joining us now, thank you for your patience. As Mattern will air the ball out to Henry Collins, and he will complete the pass at the 35-yard line.
That was a really good pass up at Cooper Mattern to Henry Collins. The ball was a little shaky going through the air, but luckily for Henry Collins, he was able to get that separation between him and his defender and able to get that pass right between the numbers and the end line. So really good positioning there for the quarterback's pass.
So the Deacons will now set up shop at the 35-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Collins goes in motion. He will get the jet sweep as he will take it to the outside, get past the D-line, and he will get to about the 31-yard line before he's taken down by the North defense.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of bobbled that ball initially, but he was able to secure that and able to get past that first edge rusher there for Fargo North and gain about 5 yards. So a good play there by Henry Collins here.
Yeah, nice job by Henry Collins to stay calm and maintain possession of that ball. So 3 receivers to the right now for the Deacons. Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. Mattern will drop back to pass. He will look for Carter Kochman in the end zone. He will try to make the catch behind the defender, but he will not be able to haul it in. We've seen a lot of plays like that in higher levels of football, such as the NCAA and the NFL, so that would have been a great play if Carter Kochman could really get around the defender and catch the ball behind the defender's back. Clearly a very tough play to make, but great effort by Kochman on that play.
Yeah, some of the fans who were looking for a flag, I really don't think it was there. The defender really couldn't see the ball, and he was trying to get in space, and Kochman had his hands wrapped around his back. So it was probably a good no call there, but that was a good look here early in this first quarter.
So Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine, and he will run it up the middle and gain the first down for Fargo Shanley. Fighting to stay up, he is brought down at the 17-yard line. That's another thing that we've seen a lot this season so far is Mattern keeping that ball and really making a gritty run through the defensive line to gain a good amount of yardage and pick up the first down, as we just saw there.
Yeah, the Deacons did that a lot last year with quarterback Cade Busick. He was a really good runner here, so if they didn't have any option for passing, he was able to run it right up the middle and get a few yards. So I like that they're continuing this the quarterback run option here for the game plan.
So 3 receivers to the left. Mattern will look for Hoffer, and he will connect. He will be brought down at the 1-yard line. Hoffer was reaching for the end zone, but he could not quite get it through.
Yeah, he was able just to reach out and hit that pylon, but it looks like probably his feet were just out of bounds after the defender dragged him out. But that was a really good heads-up play there for him, knowing where he's at and seeing if he can just stretch his arms out and able to get that touchdown. So
it appears that Mattern will try and get it in with the QB sneak, but he will fall just short. So from the 1-yard line once again. And they will go right back to the QB keeper. And the signal is a touchdown as Mattern will get it into the end zone. And there we go again with Mattern making a tough little run through the defensive line as he will get the touchdown on that. Yeah, those little 1-yard QB sneaks are really hard to defend. Even if you do stack the box with all your guys, it's still really easy for the offensive line to push forward, and you just need about a yard. So that's enough for the quarterback just to barely get in and stick the ball over the threshold of the line and get that easy touchdown. Yeah, especially with Shanley's very strong offensive line, it was very easy for them to push the defensive line towards into the end zone. As the extra point by Kenny will go through the uprights. Score now 14-0, Shanley in the lead. Yeah, this is a really dominating opening quarter here for the Shanley Deacons side, and that defensive touchdown now just scoring this touchdown on their second drive. So I'd like to see North see if they can bounce back, maybe get some things going here on the ground game, since they haven't been able to get that a lot through the opening quarter. Yeah, very good job there by the Deacons offense to bounce back after that first opening drive, which was not very successful. So the Deacons now getting ready to kick it away. If I'm not mistaken, it is Peyton Fisher back to receive for the Fargo North Spartans.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
So Kenny now looking to line up a little more on the right side of the field. About 3/4 of the way between that middle, the right hash and the middle of the field.
As we're probably going to see a normal kick here. I don't think they're going to go for 2 onside back-to-back, but who knows? Maybe Coach Madden likes his odds of getting this.
So Kenny to kick it away, and he will have a normal kick, a very long kick. And Fisher will take it from about the 3-yard line. He will get through a couple Deacons, and he will bring the ball to about the 37-yard line. Great return there by Fisher, as that ball looked almost like a line drive right to him as he got it and just took off right away.
Yeah, it was a really good play there by Fisher, just fielding it at about the 1 yard line, then just having his blockers up front, able to get positive yardage, not get stuck behind his own 20-yard line. So it should be interesting to see what North is going to do here in this, and their I think it's their third drive. It's their second or third drive. It should be interesting to see what they do here tonight, or do here for this drive. Maybe they may air it out a little bit more here because their ground game's not doing too well.
And folks, along with the technical difficulties, we are having trouble showing the scoreboard, as Boutain will fumble the ball, pick it back up, and be swallowed up by the Deacons defense. Little scoreboard update. It is 14-0. Deacons in the lead with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter. So that'll bring up second and about 17 for the North Spartans.
Yeah, it looks like Boutain just fumbled that snap. They were kind of low towards his knees, and he dropped it, but luckily for him, he was able to get back on top of it and keep the play alive. But then the aggressive Shanley defensive front was able to swallow him up and for a loss of 7.
So Boutain now joined by 2 running backs in the backfield. He will fake the handoff and take it up the middle, and he will be met right away by the Deacons defensive line as he will gain about 2 yards on that play. And that'll bring up third down and about 15 for the Spartans.
Yeah, excuse me. These quarterback runs that Fargo North are doing are kind of effective. They're getting a few yards per play, just kind of wear down the defense, but not as much as Shanley has seen using with Cooper getting about probably 10 to maybe 15 yards per carry for the quarterback.
So Boutain now in the shotgun set, running back right behind him, and he will fake the handoff and roll to his left, and he will look for Caden Rickard, but that ball will go out of bounds and fall incomplete.
Yeah, those are always tough passes to make for a quarterback because you're rolling out to your left, and then you have to hit in motion the receiver as you are running. That's a really tough ball. It was in a good spot, but it was just probably a few yards out of bounds. But if he would have been a little bit more prepared, because after the edge rush from Dalton Vista, he probably would have had that ball a little bit out of place. But he was under a lot of pressure here in these opening drives. So some of these balls are coming out hot, and they're coming out a little far here for these receivers.
So now the North Spartans will punt it away to Tallenhofer. So he will get it up about the 39 and take it forward. He will get through a couple defenders and take it to about the 46-yard line.
That's a good 7-yard return here for Tallenhofer. I mean, you don't see a lot of big punt returns here in high school. It's a lot of just fielding the ball and then bringing it up a little bit. Just get good field positioning. So this is really good field positioning for the Shanley Deacons. They may be able to score another one here, and if they continue with their ground game.
Yeah, Hoffer definitely did give them pretty good starting position as just behind midfield. And the Deacons will start off with 3 receivers to the left. Madden will take the snap, fake the toss, a little screen to Hoffer as he will take it forward, get through a few defenders for a nice gain of about 8. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest plays we've seen so far with any of the wide receivers, except for Henry Collins' nice catch over by the 25-yard line. So far, it's just been a lot of quarterback and running back runs just right up the middle, trying to get through the defensive line.
Yeah, those little fake toss and screen passes are really good here for the Deacons offense.
So Jack Crystal now in the backfield as Cooper will look to pass, and he will try to get it to Carter Kochman as he is hit immediately by Daniel Boutain as he will knock that ball incomplete.
Yeah, that little, I think for Shanley Deacons they call that a little bullet route. Carter Kochman sets up and runs a little slant, and then Cooper Madden just takes a one-step drop and just fires it in. That was good ball placement, but unfortunately Boutain was right there and able to knock that ball out of position. But if Cooper would have gotten that ball a little faster, Carter Kochman would have came up with that and maybe scored a touchdown.
So Madden tries to hand it off to Crystal, but there is a fumble on the initial handoff. Madden recovers it, and that'll bring up 4th down and 3 for the Shanley Deacons.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Jack Crystal was trying to, instead of letting the ball go into the breadbasket, he kind of went out and grabbed him. That causes a little bit of like loose communication here with his quarterback, because sometimes quarterback doesn't know where he wants it, and that just caused the ball to get fumbled. And luckily for the Deacons, Cooper Madden was just able to fall right back on top of that for a small game. But it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
So 4th and 5 now. The offense still on the field. Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine and look for Hoffer, and he'll connect to pick up the Deacons' first down.
I really like that option here for the Deacons. Just drop back a little bit and allow the routes to develop. And that slant route's really good here for Cooper to Talon. That ball was a little thrown behind of him, so Talon had to reach it back and grab it. But luckily for him, he was able to secure that reception and then get the first down.
So now 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line for the Deacons offense. 3 receivers to the right. Mattern will take the snap and look to pass to Henry Collins right away, to Carter Kochman right away, but that ball will fall incomplete.
Yeah, that pass was really well defended there by Fargo North. They had one of their D-backs watching the flats here for that little flat route that Carter Kochman was run, but unluckily for Shanley, that ball was thrown incomplete, just a little bit out of the reach for Carter Kochman, but I think if they can continue to get that after. If they throw a few long balls here north, get them tested, and they can run those little shallow routes.
So 3 receivers to the left now on 2nd and 10 for Shanley. Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine, and he will connect with Talon Hoffer for a nice gain of about 12 to pick up the Shanley Deacons' first down. Now, yeah, so far Shanley's pass game hasn't been extremely successful. They've had a couple nice short plays here and there and one nice long play to Henry Collins, but for the most part, before this drive, they were relying very heavily on their run game, but they're kind of starting to click a little more with all the receivers and Cooper Mattern. So it's nice to see that their pass game is picking up and allowing them to gain more yardage. So 3 receivers to the right now for the Shanley Deacons. Small motion there for Talon Hoffer. Cooper Mattern will hand it off to Aiden Devine as he will try to truck through the defense, but will only gain about 2 yards.
Yeah, it looks like Aiden Devine had that hole opening just for about a second. He tried to take it, but then Fargo North was able to plug it up, so he had to bounce outside. And unfortunately for him, a defensive back was able to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. He had to fall forward just for the 1 yard.
Yeah, he got hit right away and got tackled by the feet there. Very tough for a running back to get through that. And I believe a timeout was taken by the Shanley Deacons. Just a little scoreboard update. It is still 14-0 with about 22 seconds left in the first quarter.
Looks like they're just going to let the clock run out to the second quarter.
So it appears that on the field they did let the clock run down to the end of the first quarter as the chain gang is flipping sides of the field.
Yeah, and the clock has now been reset on the scoreboard, so that should be, so we should have a second quarter starting here shortly.
Yeah, so after the first quarter, the Deacons lead 14-0 against the Fargo North Spartans.
Really strong quarter here for the Shanley Deacons, both offensively and defensively. Defensively, of course, they had that punt block return for touchdown by number 4 Dalton Visser, and they're continuing to get stops on defense. And their offense, putting together after a really slow start, they put together that second drive and just scoring it in for a touchdown. So they've done a really good job here in the first quarter. And then Fargo North, they've just had some small miscommunications that have turned into big plays for Fargo Shanley. So if they just limit their mistakes here, they should be able to be competitive in the second half.
Yeah, Shanley definitely does have a lot of momentum here, but North could easily start to come back into this game as they've shown a lot of talent and success so far, but it's just been, like you said, a lot of little things that have contributed to Shanley scoring points. So Matter now under center, 3 receivers to the right. He will look for a quick screen at Hoffer. Hoffer will get around a few defenders, and he will get a nice gain, taking the ball to about the 12-yard line, and will pick up the first down for the Shanley Deacons.
See, again, with the Shanley, it's not a lot of long passes besides one to Henry Collins. So it's been a lot of short 5-yard passes, and that one was a screen. But their screens, they just let them develop, get the blockers downfield, and then Talon Hoffer was just able to weave through the defense and get a good gain here.
They definitely have a lot of talent in their receiving core. They have a lot of players who can turn a situation into something, as they can bob and weave around some of the defenders, and they do have a lot of speed. So now 2 receivers to the right for the Deacons. Mattern in the shotgun set. Collins will motion to the left. And Mattern will toss it to Collins as he will try to make his way through the defense, but he will not He will gain about 1 yard.
Yeah, it seems like Collins was a little hesitant on which way he should go, if he should bounce it to the outside of the block by Quincy Smith, or keep it inside. Decides to keep it inside, but unfortunately for him, a linebacker was able to read that perfectly and able to make that tackle for only about a gain of 1.
Yeah, North's defense has been pretty strong so far, as they've been doing a great job of reading plays and not letting a lot develop, as Shanley's been kind of grinding them down with short plays. So 2nd and 9 now for the Deacons. Hoffer will go in motion to the right. Madden will fake the handoff and try to keep it, but he will be met immediately by the Fargo North defensive line.
Yeah, that happens sometimes after the defense is used to those those quarterback runs by Madden. They're able to understand if his tendency to do that, and they were just able to plug the holes up. And then Madden, knowing he had nowhere to go, was able to run, and then they were just able to tackle him for about a loss of 2 yards here.
And a great job by the Spartans to get off the ball as fast as they can and just meet Madden right away. So now 3rd and 11 for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the right. Madden will run the QB option with Aiden Devine. He will toss it out to Devine. Devine will try to get to the outside, and he will be taken out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. So that'll bring up 4th down for the Deacons.
Yeah, really short game there. I think Cooper Madden probably prolonged the read option there, not allowing Devine a lot of room to run with. So if he would have probably tossed that out a little bit earlier, they would have been able to get they probably would have been able to get that 1st down.
So Emmett Kenny now to come on to try to put 3 points up on the board. A 27-yard field goal attempt. The hold is down, and the kick is up, and it is good. Score now 17-0 in favor of the Deacons.
And that's another thing that Shanley has as another option for scoring weapons is Emmett Kenny. He's a really good kicker here. He's only missed about three or four field goals this whole season, and he's got a really good range. In the second game against Jamestown, against Bismarck St. Mary's, their first game, he hit a 43-yard field goal, which is really good for a high school kicker. So he has the leg. So Coach Random does have a safety cushion if he wants to use it. So if they're like probably back around maybe the 20 to 30-yard line, and they're too far away to get a 1st down, they just have that extra safety blanket of Emmett Kenny for a field goal.
Yeah, it is a very nice attribute to have, especially in high school football, to have someone to almost sort of lean on in some certain situations where you're kind of in the middle of going for it or punting the ball. So Peyton Fisher back once again to receive it for the Spartans, as the Deacons will come out and get ready to kick it off. Kenny to kick it from the right hash.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up the kickoff.
Kenny getting his players ready. And the kick is up. Nice kick by Kenny about the 10-yard line, and that is taken up by Blaine Anderson, as he will try to push the pile of Deacons, and he will to the 33-yard line. The 32-yard line.
That's a good return there for North, getting pretty decent field positioning here. So hopefully they're able to capitalize this and maybe march down the field, maybe score a touchdown, or at least get a field goal up on the board.
Yeah, if you're North at this point, you're kind of starting to think we might have to put a touchdown or at least a field goal up on the board to kind of keep the scoring differential as close as possible. So Boutain take the snap. As Boutain will take it to about the 36-yard line. Scoreboard update, it is 17-0, Fargo Shanley over Fargo North with about 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. So 2nd down and 6 now for Fargo North. Again, we're seeing those short little runs up the middle, trying to get through the defensive line for a nice little gain. So Boutain in the shotgun set. The snap is over his head once again as he is pursued by Dalton Visser, but he will jump on the ball at the 9-yard line. Another little miscommunication there by the Spartans. Visser was hot on his tail as he was just able to dive onto that ball.
That's another thing North has to worry about here is Dalton Visser's speed. Even though he is he's on the defensive line, he does have that acceleration and the speed, and that's how he was able to get that punt block earlier. And you saw right there, he was probably about two to 3 yards behind the quarterback before he was able to jump on top of that. If the quarterback may have misread that, Dalton Visser would have easily been able to get that and score maybe another touchdown.
So now 3rd and long for the North offense. Boutain rolls to his left as he will connect with Wyatt Johnson, but he will be taken down right away by Jackson Lyer at the 17-yard line. Jackson Lyer so far been fairly quiet in this game as there has not been a whole lot of passing from the North offense. The North offense. But Lyer, he has been a great attribute for the Deacons defense so far this year as he's been able to make a lot of plays like pick sixes or just make good reads on the defensive corner position. Hoffer will call for a fair catch, and it will be fumbled by him and picked up by the Spartans. Kobe Schwartz to recover that fumble as the Spartans will set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that was just a bad read there by Hoffer. I mean, I can understand him wanting to pick up the ball and maybe get some yardage, but at that point when it's too low to the ground and you're really close to the defender, you might as well just let that bounce. But I feel like he's fine. He'll be able to forget that play, and then he'll just be able to move on from that.
Yeah, that was kind of an awkward play for him to make as the ball was a little farther in front of him than he may have anticipated. So now North setting up shop. Boutain will hand it off. The handoff will go to Peyton Fisher as he will gain about 4 yards.
Yeah, it seems like the North run game is really slow. They're only getting about 3 to 4 yards per carry, but that does wear down defenses after a while. And for both, I believe for both teams, they have guys playing both ways, so those guys are going to start to get a little bit tired. So these little short 2-3 yard gains or 3 yard runs are going to really slow down this defense, and then that's when you can open it up for a long pass over the top.
Yeah, that strategy seems to be working pretty good so far for the North offense as they've been starting to grind down this defense but gain some yardage in the process. As he will hand it off again to Fisher, and Fisher will fight for some extra yardage, but he will be brought back to the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 3rd down and 7 for the North offense.
Yeah, it seems like the Fisher just had a little hesitation there, trying to figure out which hole he wanted to go into. If he wanted to go off to the right or off to the left, he chose to the left, and he just got plugged up there by the Shanley defensive line.
So 3rd and 7 now for the North offense. 2 receivers to the right. And the snap to Boutain. He will roll to his right. Avoid Joe Cava. He will throw, and he will connect with Caden Rickard. And Rickard will take it to the 18-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, it looks like it was holding there. Joe Cava was coming hot on the tail of Boutain, and then the offensive lineman just grabbed him by the inside of his collar and kind of tugged at his jersey. So it's probably going to be a holding call.
Yeah, Joe Cava, a very dangerous defender, so it is very hard to block him from your quarterback, as it will be holding on the North offense. So the ball will be brought back, as it will be 3rd and about 17 for the offense of North now.
Yeah, it's one of the plays that you want back for if you were Fargo North. I mean, you had a really good pass there from Boutain to Rickard, but sadly the holding penalty just brought that all the way back.
It's always very tough to have a big play like that brought back by a little mistake in the backfield. Now 3rd and 21 for the North offense.
3rd down and 21 for the Spartans.
So 2 receivers to the right for Boutain, as he will take the snap and drop back, and he will connect, and the ball will be brought to the 49-yard line, 48-yard line, and that will bring up 4th down for the North offense.
Good reception there, good play there by Fargo North, just getting Rickard the ball right about the line of scrimmage and allowing him to use his speed to weave through the defenders, and you saw he was able to gain a lot of positive yardage back and bring him back to just about the original line of scrimmage from when this possession began.
Now North to punt it away. Not a very long kick, but got a lot of height on it, as a little confusion by the Deacons on where that ball dropped. But it'll be stopped, or excuse me, it'll be downed at about the 34-yard line.
34-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 Deacons.
Yeah, it's tough for return teams on plays like that where the ball just kind of goes straight up. It's very easy to lose it, especially with a little bit of, not a whole lot of sun, maybe straight up, but just a tough play overall to make, as the ball did almost hit Johnny Gores. So Mattern under center now. 2 receivers on each side. He will hand it off to Devine, and Devine will be hit right away as he tries to get it through the middle. Short gain of about 2 yards.
Gabe Devine on the carry for the Deacons. Blaine Anderson on the coverage for the Spartans. Bring up second down and 8.
So 2nd and 8 now for the for the Deacons offense. Mattern trying to relay the call to his quarterback, as there are 3 receivers to the right now. 2nd and 8. Mattern will hand it off to Devine, and Devine will break 1 tackle, but will be met again right away after that. Nice gain of about 7 yards for him. So that'll bring up about 3rd and 1 for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, it looks like with about 4 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the second quarter with 17-0 Deacons. They might be able just to stick it with the run game. Aiden Devine's really started to pick it up here in the second quarter, getting about 5 to 6 yards per carry. So just look to see him continue to run the ball. And they may end up extending the plays out for pass plays, depending on the coverage that they're running. Because as you can see, they really like to run the 3-bar-1 sets here for this opening quarter, or the second quarter, excuse me.
So Mattern tries to run the option with Devine, but he is met at about the 35-yard line, as that'll bring up 4th down for the Deacons offense. It appears that he was trying to get it out to Devine, but a very smart play by Mattern to not try and get the ball out of his body for a defender to possibly knock down and recover.
Yeah, it looks like they lost probably about 5 or 6 yards on that play, which is, I don't think it's not that big of a deal here with about 4 minutes left to play. They're just going to punt it away here and then just have their defense come up big.
So Kenny punts it away to Fisher, and Fisher will just let the ball drop, and it will be down by the Deacons at about the 17-yard line.
It was a really good punt there by Emmett Kenny. They're just pinning them back but behind their own 20, so that's really good field position for the Shanley's defense here, having not a lot of room to work with here for North's offense. And
Fisher likely recognized Jackson Lyer coming very close to him as he just let that ball roll. So now 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line for the Spartans. Boutain joined by a back in the shotgun formation. Boutain will hand it off to, I believe, Blaine Anderson, as he will get a nice gain there. He will bring up 2nd and 2 for the North offense.
Yeah, those are the run plays that you really want to have for Fargo North, about the 8 to 9 yards per rush. So that's really good here for the Fargo North, just almost allowing no room for error for the Shanley Deacons defense. If they let 1 error, it's already 10 yards, and they and the running back may be able just to kick it outside, maybe get a first down or more.
So 2nd and 2 now for the North offense. That'll be Kobe Schwartz going in motion to the left for the North offense. Boutain will get it and keep it. He'll try to power through for the first down, but he will fall just short, about a yard to be exact. So I'll bring up about 3rd and 1 for the North offense.
Another interesting matchup that I'm looking forward to see tonight is Fargo North's Caden Rickard, and then against Deacons defensive back Jackson Lyer. I mean, they're both about the same size and same speed, and Rickard's only been targeted twice this game, so it should be interesting to see how that matchup plays out.
So North lines up, 1 receiver on each side. 3rd and short here, as Boutain will hand it off to Anderson, and Anderson, it appears he will pick up the first down.
Ball carried
And
by
yes, he will, as the chains are being moved.
So Dean Harper Henderson on the
Nice
stop.
play there by Anderson to
Little bit
gain as many yards as possible by pounding through that Deacons
At this time,
defensive
we're
line.
asking that all the Hall of Fame inductees and Deacon Award winners, along with their family and guests, please report to the plate pole.
So now 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the North Spartans. About 2 minutes left in this half. And Boutain will keep the ball, but he will be met right away by the Deacons defensive line. And as there will be a timeout will be taken by the North offense.
Boutain on the coverage for, on the carry for the Spartans.
Just a reminder, folks, Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at the ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So the Deacons defense now to come back on as the Spartans are getting ready to break the huddle. 2nd and 11 for the Spartans offense. 2 receivers to the left. As play resumes here. Boutain will take the snap and drop back. He looks for Caden Rickard, but that ball will be knocked down by Isaac Emineth.
That was kind of a poor ball thrown there by Boutain to Rickard. Rickard had to stop in the middle of his route and kind of backpedal almost to where the ball is, and then they had Jackson Lyon who was guarding Caden Rickard, and then you had Isaac Emineth coming over from the safety position and just almost a 2-on-1, and then unfortunately for Isaac Emineth, he had the opportunity to have that interception, but he just ended up batting that down. So good defensive hold there by the Shanley Deacons defense, but I believe North would like to have that ball back.
So that brings up 3rd and 11 now for the Spartans offense. They have 2 receivers to the left. Boutain will drop back to pass. Pursued right away by Joe Cavas. He will get the ball off to Fisher, and Fisher will take it to about the 44-yard line before he is taken down by the Deacons defense. Yeah, very nice play there by Boutain to get the ball off quickly as we saw Joe Cava burst through that line and pursue him very fast.
It looks like the Deacons took a timeout here with about 1 minute and 36 seconds left. Still 17-0 in favor of the Deacons.
So North looking to pump the ball down the field as much as they can here, put up some points before the end of the half. And it'll be interesting to see here if North tries to stick with it is 4th down, excuse me, so it'll be interesting to see if they will stick with their offense out on the field or punt it away. It is likely that they will keep the ball as they do need to put up some points before the end of the half.
Yeah, it'd be nice for North to get to his 1st down, extend the drive, and maybe get a touchdown. I mean, at best, a touchdown would be nice, but a field goal would probably do here. Then they'd only be down 14 points against this really formidable Shanley Deacons defense. So it should be interesting to see what they do here.
So it looks like they will go for it, as Boutain is joined by Fisher in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left as it is 4th and 3 for the North offense. Milliard will go in motion to the right for North, and a timeout is taken by the Deacons defense.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Huber, the defensive coordinator, is not happy with that formation. He looks like he's tuning out his players a little bit. There must have been some miscommunication with that motion. That's why he called it so soon, because he obviously must have saw a mismatch or an open receiver on the other end of the field.
So a smart move there by Huber, as he does not want to let his defense let up any points before the end of the half, giving North any momentum.
We also want to acknowledge the following businesses for providing their time and material. The Broadway Builders.
So Huber just straightening a couple things out with his defense quick.
Carpet Garage, Frank Johnson Lumber, Kreider Specialties, Cullen Insulation, Dakota Fence, Higher Engineering,
So the Deacon defense will break the huddle.
Lars Odegaard Painting, Lemke Home Improvements, Magnum Electric, Northland Truss Systems,
as North will follow. So about a minute 36 here before the end of the half. North looking to extend their drive and get the ball downfield. Boutain joined by two running backs in the backfield, as Fisher will go in motion to the left. Boutain will drop back to pass, and he will look for Fisher up the sideline, and he will not connect, as that'll be a turnover on down. And two receivers to the left for the Shanley offense. Kochman will go in motion back onto the line, as Mattern will drop back to pass, and he will look for Kochman, as he will not connect with him, as there is tight defense played there by Peyton Fisher.
Man, it looks like that ball is just at the fingertips of Carter Kochman. That's another ball that Cooper Mattern should have had that completed. Just probably a little too much loft on that one, and Carter Kochman had to go full jump and extend his arms out, and that just went right over the fingertips. So that was really good defense there by Fargo North secondary.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Deacons offense. Three receivers to the right. Mattern by himself in the backfield. Devine will motion to the left, and he will fake the jet to Devine, and Cooper Mattern will keep the ball. He will try to get to the outside, run through a few defenders for a nice little gain of about 4 yards there. Takes the ball to about the 39-yard line. About a minute 10 left in the first half. A nice little run there we see once again by Mattern, as he will pound through the North Spartans defensive line for a nice little gain of 4 yards. So three receivers to the right. Mattern will keep the ball, but he will be met immediately by Junior Surpris. A nice play by him to see that Mattern was getting the ball right up the middle and meet him right away for no gain.
Now, it's one of the difficult things having 5 receivers out and only having the quarterback in the backfield. There's no extra blockers, so once a guy gets through, it's up to the quarterback to make the decision if he passes it, runs out of the way, or just takes a sack. And in that situation, it was Junior. He was just able to get through the line and just get that quick sack there.
So about 20 seconds and counting here for the first half. 5 seconds left on the play clock. And there will be a timeout taken by Mattern. About 11.7 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, I like that timeout call by Mattern. Just letting the clock run down, then he's gonna go out and talk to his offense saying, "Hey, we have a thing. We're gonna probably see if we can get the first down, and then depending on the amount of time left, either they go for one shot to the end zone, and if they have enough time, kick a field goal, or if they're not able to get a shot to the end zone with the amount of time remaining, they'll just see if they can use Kenny's leg, and then maybe see if they can get another 3 points on the board."
So I assume the Deacons will try to maybe air one more play out before the end of the half to see if they can put one more score up on the board.
From the lost and found department, somebody's missing that gold watch. If you are missing a gold watch, please find Michael.
So the Deacons offense coming back out now. Two receivers on each side. So for probably the final play of the first half, Mattern will drop back and look to pass. He looks for Quincy Smith, but that ball will fall out of bounds with about 6.1 seconds remaining.
I'm not quite sure what was happening there. It looks like Cooper Mattern was trying to hit Quincy Smith there, but he just aired it out just way too far there, and that was like probably a good 5-6 yards out of bounds. So that's another miscommunication that they have here for Shanley. But now the turnover on down is going to be Shanley. Shanley's going to be on defense with about 6.1 seconds left. So I would assume that North would see if they can take a shot to the end zone here and maybe be able to put a touchdown up on the board.
So North will take over at about the 40-yard line. 6.1 seconds remaining in the first half, as Boutain will take the snap and hand it off to Peyton Fisher, as he will be swallowed up by the Deacons about 1 yard after the line of scrimmage, as that will bring an end to the first half. Shanley Deacons leading 17-0 over the Fargo North Spartans. But stick around as we'll have the homecoming court on the field at halftime to give them recognition for their excellence in the Deacon community.
Shanley High School Homecoming Court 2019. Selection criteria to be included in the homecoming court. Which candidates best represent Shanley High School and its tradition of excellence? Which are true deacons in their mindset of service and self-giving? And which treats others with kindness, compassion, and respect? I'm pleased to announce the homecoming court for 2019. Kate Gallagher, daughter of Mike and Kristen Gallagher. Escorted by Leo Hansen, son of Mark and Robin Hansen. Olivia Johnson, daughter of David and Robin Johnson. Escorted by Evan Reinhold, son of Aaron and Teresa Reinhold. Madeline Smith, daughter of Thomas and Jenny Smith. Escorted by Braden Altringer, son of Glenn and Connie Altringer. Rose Grimstead, daughter of Jim and Shomei Grimstead. Escorted by Anthony Hollingsworth, son of Adam and Julie Hollingsworth. And your 2019 homecoming queen, Hadley Huber, daughter of Steve and Christy Huber. Escorted by the 2019 homecoming king, Brandon Rosberg, son of Greg and Julie Rosberg. Ladies and gentlemen, the homecoming court for Shanley Deacons 2019. Let's give them a round of applause.
So welcome back to Cichy Stadium here as the Deacons lead the Fargo North Spartans 17-0 going into the second half. And before we start the second half here, folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. You get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV. Follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV, and make sure to tweet at us if you want a shout-out. And speaking of shout-outs, we have one shout-out for Bob Knutson, who played football for Shanley in the 1970s, listening all the way from Texas. Thank you for listening, Bob.
I also want to give another shout-out to Shanley's own number 73, Joe Cava. It is his birthday today, turning 18, so happy birthday to Joe Cava.
So Wayne Sargent getting his kick team ready as he will kick off to Peyton Fisher, who's waiting at about the 5-yard line. And Emmett Kenny will kick it from the left hash here to open up the third quarter.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
So Kenny lining up. And the kick is away. Fisher will return it from about the 2-yard line. He will take it up, get through a couple defenders. He will stay on his feet and be pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
Another good return there from Peyton Fisher, just fielding out his own 2-yard lines and getting up to the 30. A decent starting field position here in the opening drive for the second half. So it should be interesting to see what Fargo North does here tonight.
Yeah, they were very, very successful in the first half with their run game. Not so much with their pass game, but towards the end of the first half, they were really starting to grind down the defensive line for the Deacons as they would just get short 5-yard gains almost every play. So Boutain joined by 2 running backs in the shotgun formation as Caden Rickard will motion to the right. Boutain takes the snap, and he will hand it off to Peyton Fisher, and Fisher will pound his way through the defense and stay alive, and will be pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A nice run there by Peyton Fisher.
Yeah, just with that motion, it brought another defender over, and then Peyton Fisher, just receiving that handoff, was able to break a few tackles right at that line of scrimmage, and then using his speed, able to bounce out to the outside, and then just running it all the way down to about the looks like they have him marked at the the 41-yard line. So that's a really good run there. Soon they start all the way back at their own 30.
So far in this half, Fisher has been the hero for the North Spartans. 2 plays in. As Alex Rudd will go left in motion, and Boutain will fake a couple handoffs and take it up the middle himself as he will take the ball all the way to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like back-to-back big plays here for Fargo North. They're coming out with a lot of energy here in the second half, and I'm really enjoying this. It's allowing them to be competitive here, being down 17-0. So if they're able to put a quick touchdown up on the board, they're right back into this game really early here in the third quarter.
So the Spartans coming out here with a lot of fire in them as they have taken the ball from the 35-yard line all the way to the 30 in a matter of 2 or 3 plays. Boutain will just run the ball up the middle, but he will be met right away by Joe Cava for a short gain of about 1 yard.
Yeah, they're getting now after those 2 big plays, the Shanley Deacons defensive line, gathered themselves, and they were able to make that really easy tackle right about the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, I know the Deacons defensive line especially is very competitive, so they do not like to see 2 back-to-back plays of the running backs and the quarterback just pounding them up the middle and for a nice gain. So 2 receivers to the left here as Boutain is joined once again by 2 backs. Boutain will drop back to pass, and he will connect with Anderson as Anderson will take it. He will stay on his feet, and he will take it all the way to about the 4-yard line. Excellent play by Blaine Anderson to keep the play alive and stay on his feet.
Yeah, Blaine Anderson able to catch that pass, and then just working his way. If you saw in the replay, he pointed to one of his offensive players just able to hold that block, and he's able to get to the outside. And then he was stopped initially at about like the 7-yard line, but his momentum just carried him forward to about the 4-yard line. So this is a really good position here. About 3 of their last 4 plays have been really huge. for the Fargo North Spartans offense.
So first and goal here as Boutain will hand it off to Anderson, and Anderson will fall about a yard short of the end zone. So the Spartans' running game so far showing up greatly in the beginning of the second half here, with an excellent drive consisting of about 60 yards almost to the end zone.
Yeah, it would be nice to see if they're able to continue with this ground game the rest of the second half here. Because in the first half it was doing well, but it was a lot of short yard gains. But here in the second half they've really blown the doors open.
So Boutain takes the snap and he will hand it off to Anderson. Anderson will try to power through to the end zone, and he will get there for the Fargo North Spartans touchdown, as they are now on the board with the score being 17-6.
This touchdown drive right here in the opening drive in the second quarter is huge. I think it's really huge here for Fargo North Spartan. Being down 17-0 in 17-0 in the first half here. Not a lot of energy, but now in this first drive, showing a lot of energy. Had two back-to-back explosive plays, one little short play, and then another huge play by Anderson. So this is really important here for Fargo North. So hopefully their defense can continue with this momentum and force a 3-and-out, and then maybe they'll be able to get the ball back and then score another touchdown.
So Tate Schlescher to add on to the extra point, and that will be good, as the score now is 17-7 in favor of the Deacons. But as you were saying, it's always nice to see a team who's down by two-plus touchdowns come out in the second half after not having very much momentum at all, and just coming out and pounding it down the defense's throat and making sure to stay alive and stay competitive.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see. Because sometimes, for some teams, when you're down at halftime 17-0, you're a little down on yourself. You're not playing, with a lot of, with a lot of energy, and then you're just kind of like, oh, you're kind of ho-hum. But this really didn't happen here with the Fargo North Spartans. They came out, they pretty much punched the Shanley Deacons defense in their mouth, kind of stunned them here, and they were able to score that touchdown. So it should be interesting to see how Shanley does respond here with their opening drive for the second half.
So Schlescher to kick off from the middle of the field. Henry Collins back deepest for the Deacons. So the kick is up. A nice kick by Schlescher. And that will be taken back by Carter Kochman. Kochman will try to get to the outside, but will be stopped at about the 26-yard line.
A decent return here for the Shanley return team. They haven't had. I believe this is their only return they've had here on a kick return. So pretty decent field positioning. You'd like to be up closer to maybe the 30 or the 40, but about the 26-yard line is really good field positioning for them, because then they're able to get their ground game running early, since they have a lot of field to work with, and they might be able to extend their pass plays out now.
So a good amount of field to work with here, as the Deacons will line up with three receivers to the left. Mattern under center. He will throw a quick screen out to Hoffer. Hoffer will get to the outside. He will get tripped up by a Spartans defender and will take the ball to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, those little screen plays that the Shanley Deacons have been consistently running over and over again are really working out for them. I mean, the initial pass is is zero yardage, but it's after the catch that's really important here for the Deacons. Townhofer getting about 7 yards here, and that's really what they're looking for here, is they do it again here.
So another screen over to Hoffer, and Hoffer will fight for the first down, as he will get it and bring the ball to the 40-yard line. So nice little back-to-back plays there, which will pick them up the first down. Good to see that the Deacons are firing back at the Spartans' defense with some nice little quick pickups there.
Yeah, Townhofer a little quiet in the first half. He had 3 or 4 receptions here, but now with back-to-back plays going to him, he's really starting to pick up his game here in the second half.
So 3 receivers to the right, and Mattern under center for the Deacons. Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine will break one tackle, and he will get it out to the 46-yard line for a nice gain of about 6 there.
Yeah, Aiden Devine really lucky there that number 45, Jacob Brosius, wasn't able to strip that ball here. It looked Brosius went right for the ball and tried to get that fumble, try to strip the ball for fumble, but Aiden Devine keeping the ball under control, able to roll forward past that tackle and gain about 5 yards on that run.
Excellent ball security there by Aiden Devine, as ball security is job security here in the running back game. Mattern will roll right, and he will try to connect with Collins, but that pass is a little behind him, as that will hit the ground and fall incomplete. bringing up 3rd and 6 for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, that's another rare miscommunication for Cooper Madden and his receivers. They had that earlier in the earlier games, but in the last few games there haven't been a lot of miscommunications. That's just one where it's kind of a scramble play, and sometimes the quarterback and the receivers aren't on the same place. As you saw there, the ball was behind Collins because he was trying to streak towards the far sideline. Cooper thought that he was going to stop and come back, but that's just one small miscommunication that they've made this game.
So doubles receivers on 3rd and 6 here for the Deacons. And Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine and look to pass. He tries to connect with Henry Collins, but just over his head. That ball looked like it could have gone to either to Collins or Hoffer, as it kind of hit him right in their crosshair.
Yeah, that was an interesting ball there. I'm not quite sure from where I'm sitting if that ball was intended for Collins or if it was for Hoffer. Hoffer looked like he was just a few steps in front of Kobe Schwartz, who was guarding him. But also Henry Collins did have a few steps on his defender. But it's just a rare miscommunication here, and it's really big here for the North's defense, getting a quick 3-and-out here for against the Shanley offense.
So Peyton Fisher fair catches the punt at the 21-yard line from Emmett Kenny. That will set up 1st and 10 for the North offense here. Interesting to see if they can keep the momentum that they had on the first drive in this half, where they punched the ball all the way down the field, 60 yards for the touchdown. So North breaking the huddle. One receiver on each end. Boutain joined by 2 backs in the backfield. And Caden Rickard will move in motion to the right. Boutain will hand it off to Peyton Fisher as Fisher tries to bounce it outside, but is met by a swarm of Deacon defenders. Dalton Visser pursuing him very quickly after he bounced it outside, and that just kind of pushed him into the rest of the Deacons' defensive linemen who are pursuing him as well.
Yeah, it's one of those runs where it's kind of hard to judge offensively is when you get the ball and you move laterally, and usually as a running back you want to move north-south, but he ended up moving east to west, and that allows the defense to pursue and kind of corral you into the corner, which happened there with the early aggression from Dalton Visser, and that just caused a loss of yardage on that possession.
So about 7:50 left in this third quarter as the Deacons do lead 17-7. Rickard in motion to the left for the Spartans. Boutain will hand it off to Peyton Fisher as Fisher will be met right away by the Deacons. That will bring up 3rd down and about 12 for the Spartans.
Yeah, after that opening touchdown in the second half for Fargo North, Shanley's defense has really come together here, and now they had that. The first play, it was a loss of yardage. In this play, about no net yardage here. So they're doing a really good job here on their second defensive possession here, not wanting to give up another touchdown since their team is only up 10 points here with about 7-10 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, the momentum has definitely shifted in the Deacons' favor as the Spartans will take up 3rd and 12 here on their offensive drive, second offensive drive of the quarter or half. So Boutain takes the snap, and he'll drop back. He looks, and that ball is almost picked off. Looked like he was trying to connect with Justin Milliard there, just a little over his head.
Yeah, it looks like both Townhofer and John Gores were in the vicinity of that ball, and Townhofer just getting a hand underneath that pass, but unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to come up with that. But that ball was just slightly overthrown. For the intended target. So luckily for Fargo North, that wasn't an interception for Townhofer.
So the ball is punted away to the Deacons, and the ball will be downed at about the 50-yard line. So good field position for the Deacons to start off here on their second offensive drive of the half. So far in this half, the Deacons have not had a lot of success on offense, but we'll see if that will change here after that small momentum shift that the Deacons' defense has caused.
Yeah, Andy, what are your thoughts? Do you think they're going to see if they can stick with a run game here, or do you think they may start airing it out for passing?
I think they might go with a little run here just to see if they can be successful on this drive. Nope, they will fake it, and they will look for Kochman, but that ball is batted in the air and falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's another one of those plays when the with that fake run there by Cooper Matter that the defensive line kind of just sits there because they don't know if it actually is a run or a pass, and that allows them to be able to sit there and just hold down. And that pass was just a little low there, and that allowed the defensive line deflection for an incomplete pass again.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the left. Mattern takes a snap. He pump fakes right away. Drops back and looks for Hoffer, but that ball is behind him as that will fall incomplete and bring up 3rd and 10. Hard throw from Mattern there as he was being pursued and had to throw off his back foot a little bit there. Great effort still, but just couldn't quite come up with it.
Yeah, it seems like on that possession that Shanley's offensive line had a few miscommunications, and Fargo North's defensive line was just able to run almost right through them. That almost had a sack there for Cooper Manor, but luckily for him, he was able to evade that. But he did, as you did mention, he did throw off of his back foot, so that does lead to inaccurate passes.
So Matter now fakes the handoff to Devine, and he will take it himself for a gain of about 5 yards. So that'll bring up 4th and 5 for the Deacons.
Should be interesting to see if they do go for a 4th and 5 here if they punted. They do have decent field positioning, but it looks like they're going to bring the punt team out.
Yeah, Emmett Kenny and his punt team will go out onto the field. And the Deacons will punt it away to Peyton Fisher once again.
That's another good defensive stop there for Fargo North's defense. Another 3 and out, 2 back-to-back possessions for them. So they must have a lot of confidence now going in for the rest of this game.
So Kenny with a nice kick, or punt, excuse me, as that ball will roll all the way to about the 2-yard line. Excellent field positioning for the Deacons defense. Not so much for the offensive side on the Fargo North Spartans.
Yeah, that's another thing for Kenny, him being a kicker and now as a punter, that he is that another safety net for Matter, as I mentioned earlier, with his field goal kicking. That punt was really good. Kicking from about the 45-yard line, and then just pinning it down at about, it looks like the 3-yard line. That's really good for the Shanley Deacons defense here. Having North so far back towards the end zone, it'd be really easy for them if they could get a safety here.
Yeah, the Deacons defense definitely patting Emmett Kenny on the back as he runs off the field. 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for the Fargo North Spartans. Boutain under center. He will hand it off to Fisher, I believe, and Fisher will be stopped. The ball may have come out. It appears the ball did come out as the Deacons sideline is signaling for a touchdown. The refs have not, and they have confirmed the fumble recovery in the end zone for the Deacons defense, and a crucial mistake there for the Fargo North Spartans offense.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. I mean, I thought it was going to look like a safety. I didn't expect that it would be a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So they've had about 2 of those, or excuse me, 1 of them. And the other one was a block punt. For 2 defensive touchdowns here for the Shanley Deacons is really good.
So Kenny right back on the field to try and tack on the extra point here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who was able to strip the ball and who recovered it, but whoever it was, they did a really good heads-up play there, just stopping Fisher from running the ball, stopping him at the line of scrimmage, and then just forcing him backwards into the end zone.
So Kenny's PAT is up and good. The score now 24-7. Deacons in favor over the Fargo North Spartans with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, after that opening drive by Fargo North, the momentum seemed to switch to the Fargo North Spartans, but now after that defensive touchdown, it's definitely swung back to the Deacons, even though that Fargo North's defense has stopped the Shanley offense in 2 back-to-back possessions. It's just Shanley's defense that's making a really big difference here in this game.
Yeah, Shanley's defense is definitely carrying more of the momentum load over the offense. It'll be interesting to see if this time the momentum will carry over to the offense, as if they will be able to pick up any yards or even score a touchdown. So the kickoff team now getting on the field, as Kenny will kick it off from the right hash for the Deacons. Fisher once again back to receive for the Spartans.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
So the kickoff team now breaks. And Kenny's kick is up and away. Fisher will take, or excuse me, I believe that is Anderson will take it from about the 15. He'll cut his way through the Deacons defense and bring it up to about the 27, or excuse me, the 23-yard line.
Yeah, so a decent return here for the Fargo North Spartans. You know, not the best field positioning here, still being back behind their 30. It should be. I would like to see them continue their run game. They had that that was really effective in their opening drive of the second half. But I'd also like to see if they can get more passing yards here against this Shanley secondary that hasn't really been tested this game.
So 2 receivers to the left now for the North offense. And Wyatt Johnson will move in motion to the right. Boutain takes the snap, and he will fake the handoff to Anderson and take it himself up the middle as he will gain some nice yardage there and pick up the first down for the North offense as he will take the ball to about the the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Shanley Deacons had a few missed tackles there, and that allowed Boutain to get that first down there. So they might be able to continue this Boutain quarterback run as long as Shanley's not able to stop him right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Boutain using his small size but ferocious speed to get through the Deacons defense on that play as he will fake the handoff once again, and the ball will be fumbled, recovered by Anderson right away as he looked like he was running a bit of an option there, but he was met right away by the Deacons defensive line, and the ball just seemed to pop out after he tried to pull it back or hand it off to Anderson.
Yeah, Boutain only a sophomore, really young here for a varsity quarterback. So these mistakes are known to happen to younger people or to younger players here in these big games. But it should be interesting to see if he's able to recover from these.
Yeah, so far definitely Boutain has done a great job of amounting to the responsibilities given to him for such a young quarterback. As Boutain will get the ball and hand it off to, he'll fake the handoff to Anderson and take it himself once again for a nice gain there, bringing the ball to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like Boutain's speed is really starting to show here in the second half. Because during the first half, his runs were really short, about 2 to 3 yards. But now he's starting to pick up maybe 5-6 yards per carry here. So it should be interesting to see if he does continue on this the rest of the game.
So 3rd and 5 now for the Spartans after that nice little play there by Danny Boutain. And 1 receiver on each side for the Spartans as Boutain will hand it off to Anderson, and Anderson will pound his way through the defensive line, getting to the 46-yard line and picking up the first down for the Spartans offense.
Yeah, Blaine Anderson just using his size and his speed. He's a really tough guy to bring down. You have to have at least 2 to 3 defensive players to bring him down. So as long as his legs keep trucking, he's just able to get that first down and gain extra yardage.
So the Spartans' run game remaining very victorious over the Deacons' defense so far in this drive. And it'll be interesting to see if they keep up with the run game or maybe that momentum will carry over to the pass game.
I would like to see a few more passes here from this North's offense.
So Boutain will hand it off once again, I believe, to Peyton Fisher, as he will gain only about 1 yard.
Yeah, that snap seemed a little high there for Boutain. He had to jump up and grab it, and luckily for him, it was another over the head snap, and he was just able to secure and hand the ball off to Fisher here for a short gain.
Yeah, nice quick athletic play there for Boutain. Yeah, we saw before a couple of times earlier in the game where the ball that was snapped over his head, and that led to either a big loss of yardage or a fumble recovery by the Deacons defense. So that was a nice heads-up play for him to keep the play alive and not give the ball over or fumble it. So Caden Rickard in motion for the Spartans as Boutain will drop back to pass, and he looks for Rickard, tightly defended, and that ball is nearly picked off by Johnny Gores as a flag comes in after the play is over.
Yeah, I couldn't really see here from an angle. The window was in my way, so pardon my mistake here. So it'd be nice to see if we can get a replay on that. But that looked like it was really tight defensive coverage there. But it looks like it was Jackson Lyer and Talent Hoffer. Excuse me, not Talent Hoffer.
Flag on the play.
Johnny Gore's on that possession here. So I'm not quite sure what the ref saw there, but I mean I couldn't see from up here, so I do trust his judgment on that penalty call.
From my view, it almost looked like Johnny Gores had his hands on the shoulders of Rickard, and that kind of caused him to not be able to get his hands up all the way. So I do agree with that call by the refs, as the Spartans will set up from about the 37-yard line on first down. It will be tossed out to Peyton Fisher, as he'll be brought down right away by the Deacons defensive line. Loss of about 6 or 7 yards there.
Yeah, it seems like Fargo North is having a lot of troubles with their snaps, having a lot of fumbles here. So luckily for them, not many of them, few of them have been recovered by Shanley's defense here. As you saw, Joe Cava was right there, and luckily for them, luckily for North, Fisher was able just to pick it up before Joe Cava got his hands on it.
So 2nd and 17 now for the Spartans offense. Boutain will hand it off to Peyton Fisher. Fisher will try to juke his way through, stays on his feet, but is brought down short of the sticks. Small gain of about 2 or 3 yards there for Fisher.
Leo Hansen on the stop for the Deacons.
And Leo Hansen making that play for the Deacons to stop him shy of the sticks. And it'll be 3rd and 16 now for the Spartans offense. Be interesting to see if they pass the ball here or try to run it again. So I don't believe they've passed it so far in this half, or at least completed a pass, as Boutain will drop back to pass. That pass will be completed to, I believe, Wyatt Johnson, but it'll be stopped right away at about the 35-yard line, as that will bring up 4th down for the North offense.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they do here for this position, if they go for the 4th down, or if they go for the 1st down, or if they just take the punt. But it looks like they're going to talk it over here as North takes their first time out of the second half.
So a timeout is taken by the North offense with about 1:18 left in the 3rd quarter on 4th down and 10. And folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So the Deacons offense now ready on 4th down and 10 to see what the North offense will do. It appears they're going for it.
I do like this call here. They are down 24-7 here, so they're kind of starting to get into desperation mode here with about 1:18 seconds left.
And Boutain will look to pass as he will roll to his left. He looks, and the ball will be completed to Caden Rickard. An excellent play there by Rickard, who was in tight coverage by Carter Copeland, I believe. Great play by him to jump up and get that ball out of the air and pick up the 1st down for the Spartans.
Caden Rickard, a really good basketball player. This is his first year for playing football. He's just using his knowledge from the basketball, just being able to jump up and get those tip passes that he always does in basketball, just able to jump up and get that reception there. So a really big play here on that 4th down for Caden Rickard.
And that was Isaac Emnith playing tight defense on him in the Deacon secondary, as Fisher will get the ball and tries to bounce to the outside, but is met by a Deacon defender.
It's good, decent run there again for Fisher. About looks like about 3 yards here. I mean, his runs haven't been super long, but he's just getting those slow yardage, which wears down the defense over time. So if he keeps getting that ball, he'll be able to have one that's going to break free from the defensive line, maybe up to the linebackers, maybe even back to the secondary for these Deacons.
So about 30 seconds and counting in the 3rd quarter. Shanley leading 24-7, as it is 2nd down and 7 for the North offense. Boutain will hand it off to Peyton Fisher once again, and he will try to bounce to the outside, and he will gain some good yardage there and be just shy of the first down, as it'll be 3rd and 1 for the North offense.
See, that was another one of those runs that Fisher was just able to get past that defensive line here, and that's tough to do against his really formidable Shanley defensive line. So if you're able to get past that, you do have at least maybe 4 or 5 extra yards you can get through before the linebackers are able to get up to.
And that'll bring the end of the 3rd quarter as the Fargo Shanley Deacons holding up the 4s and huddling up before the start of the 4th quarter. So the momentum has definitely shifted here at the end of the 3rd quarter towards North's direction, as they have been able to rally a little bit and pick up a couple penalties. Or excuse me, the Deacons have picked up a couple penalties that have greatly helped the North offense, bringing them all the way inside the red zone here. And once again, folks, if you would like any form of shout-out, please tweet at us at Shanley TV, and we will make sure to mention you on the stream here. We are very grateful for every viewer. So 3rd down and 1 here for the North offense from about the 8-yard line. The North offense comes out with 2 receivers to the right. Wyatt Johnson in motion to the left. And Danny Boutain takes the snap, and tries to hand it off to Fisher, and that is fumbled. And it appears to be recovered by the Deacons, and it is signaled by the refs as recovered by the Deacons. A huge shift in momentum here at the start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's another fumble that Fargo North just keeps happening. I'm not quite sure if it's some miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back, or just the running back not being able to secure that ball right away, and the running back just worrying about what was happening after. So that's probably, I think that's the 3rd or 4th fumble that North has here in this game, and unfortunately for them, Shanley was able to come out on top of that one.
So Fargo North been very unsuccessful with ball security, as they have had multiple fumbles tonight. And the Deacons will set up at about the 5-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. And Mattern will fake the toss and looks for a screen to Hoffer. He will connect. Hoffer will bounce to the outside, break a couple tackles, and stay on his feet as he is pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Excellent play by Hoffer there to roll around a couple defenders and get it and maintain his feet as he is not tripped up there by the Spartans defense.
Yeah, it seems like, as you said, the Spartans defense is trying to go. They look like they're trying to go for those the shoelace tackles, not really wrapping up, and that allowed Hoffer using his quick feet to step over the defenders and get out the outside. And unfortunately for them, he probably would have had a touchdown there if it wasn't for the pursuit from the backside, able to cut him off at about the 30-yard line.
So 3 receivers to the left once again for the Deacons, as Mattern will run the option with Devine. He will toss it out to Devine, but Devine will not be able to pick up that much yards, as he will get it to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen the read option a few times here for Shanley Deacons, but it hasn't really been that successful. So it will be interesting to see if they continue to use it here for the rest of the 4th quarter here, because it's kind of difficult for Cooper Madden and Aiden Devine to be on that same page as the defenses are changed, as they notice this continuing trend here for the Shanley Deacons.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Deacons, as Collins will go in motion to the left and get the jet sweep. He will try to bounce to the outside. He will cut it up for a nice gain there and picks up the 1st down, brings the ball all the way to the 41-yard line.
Good, really good play there by Henry Collins. He was going to get to the outside, and then he stopped and then did a little cut back towards center field, and then he was able just to weave through the defenders and get that 1st down.
Yeah, he did a great job with that cutback of kind of forcing the Spartans to shift their momentum in a very rapid motion. But with Collins' speed, he was able to get through them before they could fully adjust. It is 1st down and 10 for the Deacons. Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine will power through a couple Spartan defenders and bring the ball to about the 47-yard line. Aiden Devine so far, he hasn't made a lot of noise tonight, but he has made some great plays, some very gritty plays getting through that defensive line, as he's another smaller running back, but he has a deadly speed and is very strong. So he was able to get through all those defenders and pick up a nice gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, it seems like he's just getting those really slow small yard gains, but other times he's able to get that 5-6 yard gain, which is really nice to see from him.
So Mattern with a little screen out to Quincy Smith, as Smith will pick up the first down and brings the ball to about the 48-yard line as the Deacons now get past midfield.
Yeah, those little bubble screens are really nice to use for the Shanley offense, just having the receivers have time to catch the ball and then have enough time to speed up as they're coming off of the little bubble back screen, and then and then Quincy was able to pick up that first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for the Deacons here. 3 receivers to the right. Mattern drops back to pass, and he looks for a little dump off to Aiden Devine. He completes the pass to Devine, but Devine is met right away behind the line of scrimmage by a Spartan defender.
Yeah, those little middle side streams that they just ran there, they aren't that effective. I really don't think that they're effective here I don't really think it fits in here for the Shanley game plan here for the rest of this game and for the future. Because with those linemen just putting a lot of pressure on Cooper Mountain, he has to make those really quick throws, and sometimes the running backs aren't in position to make that, or they're able to make the reception, but they're just tackled right away.
So 2nd down, Mattern with a quick little screen out to Collins. Collins makes his way through a few defenders, and he will get the ball to about the 42, 43-yard line. Nice little pickup there, getting them between the sticks once again. So it is 24-7, Shanley in the lead over Fargo North with about 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 6 now for the Deacons. And the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers to the left once again. Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine and looks for Quincy Smith, but that ball is a little high and behind him as Smith is not able to haul that one in.
Yeah, that's another issue that the Shanley Deacons have been having here for this season is just a little miscommunication with the receivers. Sometimes the receivers run their routes a little faster than they do at practice, and that's hard for Cooper Mountain to adjust to it because as a quarterback you're so used to them running the route at a certain speed, and if they speed that up, the ball's going to obviously be a little behind them. And luckily for Shanley, it wasn't picked off there.
So 4th and 6 now for the Deacons as Emmett Kenny awaits to punt it away to Peyton Fisher. Or excuse me, that is, I believe, Nathan Freetel. No, that is Peyton Fisher, who will not return that. And the Spartans will set up at about the 12-yard line.
Be 1st down and 10 for Fargo North.
So I'm a little eager to see here how the Spartans will bounce back after that fumble in the end zone, and then giving the ball back to the Deacons. As Boutain will fake the handoff and roll to his right. He looks and he connects with Aiden Carlson. As Carlson will take it to about the 26-yard line.
Isaac Emmett on the covers for the Deacons. Bring a 1st down and 10 for the Spartans.
Yeah, I like that play using their tight end there, Aiden Carlson. He's got a 6'4" frame, so he's got a really big frame here, and they're just able to use his height as advantage. They saw that Boutin was able to throw that ball up and only to where Carlson was able to catch that, and that was a good play there.
So the refs coming together to discuss something. What that is, it is unknown at this point. Now, I'm not sure what they would be discussing after that play. They might be asking to reset the game clock here. And it appears that they are asking to reset the game clock, but nothing has changed so far. The clock is changed back to 8 minutes and 5 seconds left in the 4th quarter. As the Spartans will start with 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Boutain will fake the handoff and looks to pass, but is swallowed up by Joe Cava. An excellent play there by Cava to get through the line and stop him way short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Joe Cobb was just able to blow right through that offensive line for Fargo North and just sacking Boutain for loss. Looks like a loss of 9 yards here. So really big play here for the Shanley defense.
So 2nd and 19 for the North offense from the 18-yard line. As the Spartans break the huddle, they appear to have one receiver on each side. And Caden Rickard will go in motion to the left. And a timeout is taken by the North offense. Possibly a little miscommunication there in the play call. So, Roman, what do you think that the Spartans are saying in the huddle here as they are down 24-7 with only about 7 minutes left?
I think they're just saying, hey, I mean, there's a lot of time left in the game. If we can score a touchdown, then we just have to rely on our defense to get a stop here.
And once again, folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts, like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV. Follow us on Twitter at Shanley TV, and make sure to tweet at us for a shout-out. And another shout-out here, shout-out to the girls' golf. Nice job with the homecoming game, hoping for a finish in the 4th quarter, which we are all hoping for the Shanley Deacons here.
And also congratulations to the Shanley girls golf team placing 1st in EDC. Really good for them as they look to make a good run here at state.
And Boutain looks for Milliard on that play, but the ball is just above his head. That'll bring up 3rd and 19 for the Spartans here. So a little over 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Down 17 points and having the ball at about the 18-yard line. North really looking to make an impact on the Deacons' defense here as they need to get some yards quick and put some points on the board as fast as possible.
Yeah, for North, I believe they need to get this 1st down here if they want to continue this drive out because they are down, as you said, they are down about 17 points here, and that's not good here with limited amount of time left.
And Boutain looks for Carlson, but that ball will be just behind him and falls incomplete, which will bring up 4th down and 19 for the Spartans offense.
Pass broken up by Leo Hansen. Bring up 4th down and 19 for Fargo North.
So a timeout is taken by the Spartans here. And Roman, what do you think that they're going to do here with a little bit of desperation here? Will they punt the ball or try and go for it?
I think it'd be really interesting here because if you do not convert on the 1st down, you give perfect field position for Shanley offense. But on the other hand, if you do punt the ball, you are giving up a chance of getting the 1st down. Then you have to rely on your defense with 7 minutes and 5 seconds left to get a stop here and limit the Shanley offense as much as possible, or get a turnover and see if you can score right away. So if I were them, I may go for that 1st down here, but it's a lot of risk for a good reward. But the risk, for me, the risk does outweigh the reward. But if I were them, considering they are down 17 points, I would go for it because they need to score here on this possession. And
it seems after that timeout taken and the long discussion they are having, it does look like they may go for it or try and pull a little trick play here to try and pick up the 1st down as they do need it. And it looks like the offense will stay out on the field. And a loaded right offensive line as Justin Milliard will go in motion left, and Boutain will look to pass. And he looks, and he will not connect. Or excuse me, that is picked off by Jackson Lyer. An excellent read by him.
Yeah, it seems like that ball was a little underthrown there by Boutine and Jackson Meyer. Seeing that opportunity, goes for it, gets the interception, and then brings the ball back down to about it looks like about the 19-yard line. So that's really good here for the Shanley Deacons, for the defense, as now their offense is in perfect scoring position.
And the pass was intended by Wyatt Johnson, but as Roman said, was slightly underthrown, giving Jackson Lyer the ability to come in and pick that off for a nice return, bringing the ball to about the 18 or 19-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for the Deacons in the red zone. Two receivers to the right. Mattern will keep it and tries to go up the middle. We'll get a short gain of about 2 yards on that play. It's now from about the 11-yard line. Deacons will bring up 2nd and 8. A little over 6.5 minutes here left in the 4th quarter. And a quick injury timeout here for the Fargo North Spartans. So once again, folks, if you have enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that is Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. A quick little score update here. Mandan leads Dickinson High 35-0. And at the end of the 1st quarter, St. Mary's leads Turtle Mountain 10-0. So play will resume here after that injury timeout. 2nd and 8 for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the right. Mattern will look to pass. He looks for Hoffer in the end zone, and he will not connect. That ball will fall incomplete, and will bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell if that ball just bounced off Townhofer's chest plate, or if the Fargo North Spartans secondary was able to get their hand in there and swat that down. But either way it went, that was just another ball that Cooper Mandan would like to have back, because that was a really easy touchdown there for both Town and for Cooper.
So 3 receivers to the right here for 3rd and 8 from the 11-yard line for the Deacons. Mattern will look to pass. He will scramble, and the ball is picked off in the end zone by the Fargo North Spartans, and that is returned to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like that pass again was intended for Townhofer. A little underthrown that allowing. I believe it was Boutane that picked off that pass there. So ball a little underthrown to Townhofer, and Boutane just read that perfectly and is able to get that and then bring the ball back out to looks like it's about the 15-yard line.
So it could be important play for the Fargo North Spartans, as it may bring them a little momentum to hopefully come back in this game with only 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to the right here for the Spartans, as Boutane will take the snap and looks to pass, rolls to his right, but is met by a couple Deacon defenders, but breaks free for a short gain of about 2 yards on that play, and will bring up about 2nd and 8.
Yeah, a lot of pressure from the Shanley defensive line. Even after that turnover there, they want to get their ball back to the offense, so they're going to continue up this pressure here with about 6 minutes left here. And that was a really good job there by Boutane, able to escape the tackles and get a short yardage here to extend the play instead of taking a sack.
Yeah, excellent job there by Boutane to gain what yards he can get rather than taking a sack. And Boutane will roll to his right and looks to pass. He will try to connect, and he will not connect with Caden Rickard. Just out of the reach of Rickard.
That was a really good job there by Boutine. He was rolling out to his right and in motion, threw a really good ball there to Caden Ricker, but unfortunately the ball is just a little bit out of the hands of Caden Ricker. So that's another pass that North would like to have back, because if Caden Ricker would have been able to receive that, he probably would have been able to score a touchdown using his immense speed that he has.
That definitely could have been a big play for the Spartans, but it will fall incomplete and brings up 3rd and 7 for the Spartans with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to the right, and Boutain will look to pass. He gets a screen to Rickard, but that ball will fall incomplete. So another little miscommunication there from the Spartans, and that will bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, so this is another interesting decision here, Andy. Do they go for this, or do you think they just punt it away?
If I were the coaches, I'd probably have to go for it at this point, because with only 5.5 minutes left in the game and being down by 17 points, you kind of got to throw up a couple prayers and just get what you can get and try your best to get up the field.
Yeah, I think for the receivers, they're gonna run probably maybe some crossing routes and just get to the line, get to the 1st down marker, not try to get anything more. If something more develops, they will give it to it, but they just want to get that 1st down.
And a timeout is taken by the Spartans here. I believe that is their last timeout of the half. So as the Spartans call timeout and talk it out on 4th down again, it'll be interesting to see what they do. And it looks like the offense will stay out on the field. So 3 receivers to the right for the Spartans offense. And a stoppage in play here. We'll see what the call is. Another little score update here. Bismarck Century leads Minot 20-7 with 2 minutes left in the 1st half. And West Fargo Cheyenne leads West Fargo 7-0 at the half. So 4th and 7 here for the North Spartans as Boutain looks to pass. He tries to connect with Wyatt Johnson, and he will. And Johnson will pick up the 1st down for the Spartans. A big play to keep the drive alive there.
Yeah, luckily for Boutain, he was able to get that pass out right away, because Joe Cava, after blowing by the offensive lineman and spinning off of that, the running back's block was just there before Boutain released the ball for that pass there. And if Boutain would have released that a little slower, then Joe Cava would have had a big sack there and turnover and downs, and gave his offense a really good position to score again.
So Fargo North down 24-7 with 5:19 left in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 from about the 33-yard line. As Boutain will drop back to pass. He looks, and he will not connect with Kobe Schwartz. Just in and out of the hands of Schwartz on that play. Tightly guarded by the Deacons defense.
Yeah, it looks like Schwartz had the ball in his breadbasket, and as he was turning, he just slipped through his hands there. So that's another pass. That's another ball that they want back there, because he was at about midfield, and that would have given him good field positioning again to continue their drive.
So the Deacons secondary once again stopping what could be a big play by the Fargo North offense. As it is 2nd and 10 now from the 33-yard line. Milliard goes in motion, and a flag is thrown on the play. And a false start will be called on the North offense.
Yeah, that's another penalty that you don't want to have here late in the game with about 5:14 left to play there. These penalties, if they start adding up, it just makes the offense have to work that much harder to get back to where they were. So North needs to limit these penalties for the rest of this game.
So 2nd and 15 now for the Fargo North Spartans from the 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. And Milliard will go in motion to the left. Boutain drops back to pass. He looks for Milliard, and he will connect. And Milliard will gain about 6 or 7 yards on that play. And it'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Fargo North Spartans.
Yeah, so 3rd and 8, pretty long to go, or long ways to go here for the North's offense, but I'd expect for them to do a pass play here. Maybe see if they can have maybe Caden Ricker or Aiden Carlson run little 10-yard out, maybe just get the first down here, because they don't want to go too deep here, because if they turn it over, if they have an incomplete pass, it's going to be a 4th down here. So they just want to get that first down and able to continue this drive.
So 3rd and 8 now for the Fargo North Spartans as Boutain will fake the handoff and rolls right, looking to pass. He will tuck it away and try to leg it out for the first down, and he will get it. He brings the ball to about the 45-yard line. Great play there by Boutain to keep the drive alive.
That was a really good that was a really good heads-up play there by Boutain, just able to leg it out there and get that first down.
And it appears there's another injury for the Fargo North Spartans. There will be a little stoppage in play there. And again, folks, Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticlub.com to learn about how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It is easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So play resumes here for the Fargo North Spartans as it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 45-yard line. 3 receivers to the left as Boutain looks to pass. He tries to connect, and he will connect with Wyatt Johnson, who will pick up the first down, bringing the ball to the 45-yard line on the other side of the midfield. And another injury timeout here for the Fargo North Spartans, so there will be another stoppage in play here. And another little score update here. Mandan leads Dickinson 49-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter. And a quick little shout out here from my mother, Sherry Simon, watching all the way from Utah. Good to see her cheering on the Deacons from that great distance away. And one more score update here. Davies leads South 26-0. So 1st and 10 for the North Spartans here from about the 44-yard line. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here, as there will be 3 receivers to the left. Boutain drops back to pass, and he looks for Rickard, and he will not connect. That ball is a little over his head and out of bounds.
Yeah, it seems like that ball was just a little overthrown there, but that was really good positioning there for Caden Rickard, just being right between his cornerback and the safety, and that would have been a really good ball there if that ball would have just been a little less.
And one more shout out here to my grandpa, Raymond Simon, watching the game from the safety of his own home. Glad to hear you listening, Grandpa. Thank you for supporting Shanley TV. So 2nd and 10 here for the North Spartans from the 44-yard line. And there will be a flag on the play. And it'll be offsides on the Deacons' defensive line, bringing up 2nd and 5 for the North offense.
That's a really good penalty here for the North Spartans here. You know, bring the yardage another 5 yards forward for them, so that allows them to be that much closer to that first down to continue to be able to continue to extend this drive.
So now from the 39-yard line, it is 2nd and 5 for the Fargo North Spartans. Boutain drops back to pass, and he looks for Rickard, and that will be over his head and incomplete. Or excuse me, that will be for Kobe Schwartz.
And that was a good ball there. It's just another with the inexperience and the youth at the quarterback. That ball is just a little overthrown there. So he'd probably want to have that one back again because Schwartz was in a really good position here to make that reception and bring him down to about the 15-yard line.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Spartans offense here with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game. With 2 receivers to the right, Boutain will fake the handoff, rolls to his right, looks to pass, but is hit as he throws, and that ball will fall incomplete. Joe Cava getting in there.
Yeah,
Boutain getting up right after the play.
Yeah, Boutain taking a big hit there by Joe Cava there, and luckily for him that he was able to throw that ball forward before he was hit, or else that probably would have been another fumble for him.
So 3:48 left in the game as the Fargo Shanley Deacons lead the Fargo North Spartans 24-7. And it is 4th and 5 for the Spartans from the 39-yard line. Surely they'll have a little pass play here to see what they can get going.
Yeah, so a really big 4th down for Fargo North. This may make or break this game right here.
And Boutain looks to pass, and he will try to connect with Wyatt Johnson as that ball is picked off by Talon Hoffer. Hoffer still on his feet, will return it. He will get through a couple North players, and he will take it to about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, that ball just really badly overthrown there, and Talon Hoffer is making that easy interception there. So now with about 3 minutes and 36 seconds left, the Deacons may just see if they may end up scoring another touchdown, or they may just see if they can grind the clock down to 0 and have this game be over with a 24-7 score.
That was definitely a tough play by Boutain as the pocket was collapsing very quickly. He just had to throw one up and try to keep the drive alive, unfortunately falling into the hands of Talon Hoffer, the Shanley secondary. So 1st and 10 here from the 27-yard line for the Shanley offense. 3 receivers to the left. So 2nd and 6 here for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the right from the 30-yard line. Mattern will take it up the middle himself once again. A little hesitation here, but he will gain about 1 or 2 yards. We are having some more technical difficulties, folks, so just another quick overall scoreboard update. It is 24-7 in favor of the Deacons with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and it is 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, we do apologize for these technical difficulties that are infringing on your viewing quality here tonight.
So 3rd and 4 here from the Deacons from about the 37-yard line. 2 receivers on each side. Mattern will fake the handoff and run it himself up the gut. And he will pick up the 1st down, bringing the ball to the 37-yard line. So about 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. The Deacons doing a great job of gaining yards, keeping the drive alive while grinding down clock. So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line here as the Deacons break the huddle. 3 receivers to the right. Mattern under center with Aiden Devine in the backfield. Mattern will hand it off to Devine, and Devine will power through the defensive line of the Fargo North Spartans, taking the ball to the 44-yard line and bringing up 2nd and about 5. And there's Aiden Devine again, using his small frame and strength and speed just to power through the Spartans' defense and get a nice pickup about 5 yards there.
Yeah, him being small, he is a smaller target to tackle, so that allows him to be a little more evasive on the offensive end, just able to step past defenders and get those extra yardage.
So it is 2nd and 5 here for the Deacons. A little over a minute remaining in the game. 3 receivers to the right. Mattern under center once again. And he will hand the ball off to Devine once again. And Devine will speed his way through the Spartans defense and pick up the first down. Bringing the ball to about the 49-yard line. So only 53 seconds left in the game here. And the Deacons looking to get into victory formation here. Letting the clock run down just a bit more. And Mattern will take a knee. And that will surely bring the end of the game here, as the Fargo Shanley Deacons will beat the Fargo North Spartans 24-7 in their homecoming game. So, Roman, what are some big takeaways from both teams that we have seen in this game here?
All right, starting with the victors, the Shanley Deacons. A little slow start here. A little slow start in the beginning of the game, but they were able to pick it up offensively, and then their defense just came through and held big here late in the game. And then for the Fargo North Spartans, they did show some signs of life in the first half. They were kind of a little bit slow, but then in that opening drive in the second half, they were able to score that quick touchdown. They were still competitive throughout the entire game, even still being down 17 points. They still played really competitive for them. So if they just get the miscues down for the fumbles between their quarterback and the running backs and the centers, they should have no problems winning a few more games this season.
Yeah, North definitely has a lot of competitive nature on their team. It is just the small mistakes that kind of hinder their abilities every now and again. But overall, a great game from both sides from both teams in the matchup. Your final score, 24-7 in favor of the Shanley Deacons. And thank you, everyone, for listening to this broadcast of Shanley TV. And if you would like to watch any of the archive broadcasts, make sure to visit our YouTube page at Shanley TV. Thank you for listening to this, and we love you all.